Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yap about them to you guys. And if you can tell by behind me, it is officially Pride Month. Not actually in Denmark, but it's like International Pride Month. And I thought to celebrate that, we could read the 3 LGBTQ IA+ books that I have on my physical TBR together. So that's what today's video is. The 3 books that I have on my physical TBR are The Long Game by Rachel Reed, which is the last book in the Game Changers series, but the way I'm reading it, it is just the second book to Heated Rivalry. Very excited, and I will in fact also be annotating this, as I did with Heated Rivalry a few videos ago. Then The Pairing by Casey McQueenston, which is on my summer TBR. I talked about it in my summer prep video that I've been pushing this for years right now, and I love their writing, and I did the last time I read one of their books, which has been a few years, which is why I think I keep pushing it, because I'm unsure if this book is going to be for me. But the third one is in fact Page Boy by Elliot Page. We will be starting with The Pairing because it is the one on the list that I am the most iffy about starting. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so I will probably be switching between the physical book and the Kindle, mostly the physical book for like when I'm filming, because I like reading a physical book better. But it's nice to know that I have it on my Kindle in case it gets a little bit hard to get into. So at some point today, we will be starting The Pairing by Casey McQueenston. I have like the quickest of quickest updates, and it's a little bit of a sad one. We won't be reading this. I'm so sorry. I just feel like the more I look at it and the more I'm like look into what it's about, the less I want to read it. And it sucks. I've been doing this a lot recently, honestly, like getting rid of books that I have kept on my TBR for so long just solely because I like other books by the same author. But again, it has been years since I've read a book by them, so I am a little bit like, maybe we just need to add it to the list of people I'm like done reading. If they do come out with another book where I feel like the plot really sounds like something I would love, then I will get it. There's another book that I've been really wanting to read lately, and I feel like now would be the perfect time. But it again goes completely against what I was just saying with The Spice, because it is in fact Hunt the Villain by Rena Kent. Alright, it has been a few days, and today is like a perfect cloudy, rainy day. The sun is supposed to shine a little bit at like 4 p.m, which is annoying because at 4 p.m. is right when the sun is like in the apartment. But it is 1 p.m, or a minute, and then it's 1 p.m, and I am 48% through this book, which is, I keep forgetting what it's called, but it's called Hunt the Villain. Hunt the Villain, and that means I have a little bit over 3 hours left, and I'm actually really enjoying this one. Not as much as God of Fury, but God of Fury is also my favorite book, one of my like favorite books ever, if we're being completely honest. So I wasn't expecting to love it as much, but I am loving it more than I think I was scared of, because I I liked the first book in this series, but I didn't love it. But I also know, I'm pretty sure Rena kind of said that the last book in this series was her like darkest romance book ever, whereas God of Fury is her like lightest dark romance ever. And I think this kind of falls in that same category. For right now, it hasn't actually been that dark at all. Like, there's been no questionable non-con scenes or anything like that, which has been some of my issues with Rena Kent, and I'm not shaming anybody who likes to read that. It's just not my cup of tea, you know? I think I've finally realized that is just not my cup of tea. This, however, I'm loving, because it's like, it has deep emotional and sure maybe a little bit triggering subjects, but not in a way I feel like dark romances normally do, which of course we do still have half the book left. So you never know what might happen in that half of the book, and I'm actually a little bit scared. But I am really enjoying this. It's like the perfect amount of like spice, but actually getting to know the characters and like actually feeling the connection between them, which we love. What I told myself I needed to get done today, I have gotten done. So now I just need some lunch, and then I kind of have the rest of the afternoon / night left to do whatever I want to do, and I don't have to work out, I don't have to do anything. So we took a shower, first of all, to like kind of reset my mind a little bit, because it kind of needed that. And now I need to make some lunch, and then I want to watch something while I'm eating lunch, but after that I want to read as much as possible. I'm thinking not finishing it today, but getting to a point where I can finish it tomorrow. I just threw the pizzas in the oven after finishing Hunt the Villain. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna pick up another straight Rena Kent book, but her MM books, even if she were to write like a lesbian love story, I will probably always pick those up. This was amazing. I am landing on a 4.5 because all the way through I was like, oh, it's really, really good. But there was just something a little bit missing. So I was gonna give it a 4.75. And then I feel like the ending was like a mix between rushed and yet a little bit too long. Like, the ending spent a lot of time on moments that I didn't feel like were as important as some of the moments that flew by. It would be like, here's a problem. Oh, here's the solution. And you're like, oh, okay. I barely had time to like panic about the issue before you guys showed me the solution, which I guess I shouldn't really complain because me and third act breakups, but I feel like it made so much sense in this one. And if it had to be there, I feel like we could have explored it a little bit more. Other than that, however, perfect. Loved it. So much. The spice. I can't even. I don't think I've ever read an MM book where there wasn't like a specific bottom and a specific top. I'm feeling a bit awkward about this because my door to the balcony is open, but I've never read a book with switches in it, or an MM book with switches in it, and it was very interesting to get to read. I feel like I always read. I haven't actually read that many spicy MM books, but like Shane and Ilya, Nico and Brandon, the guys from Red, White, and Royal Blue. There's like an obvious bottom and an obvious top, and I kind of liked this, if I'm being honest with you guys. Not that it's taking away from the fact that I love the other stuff too, but I kind of really like this. Enough about the spice though, because the story and plot, in case you don't know, both the characters we follow in this are like sons of top mafia people, and therefore don't think they can be gay, because like it's not a very approving group of people they surround themselves by and stuff like that. But I just loved their dynamic. I mean, first of all, the male character in this just reminds me so much of Nico. They're both male main characters, but you know what I mean. One of them reminded me so much of Nico in the like big chaotic energy, golden retriever kind of vibe, which I love, mixed with like the more calm dude. But I did like it because it wasn't just Nico and Brandon. They had their own things, and like I don't think the other MMC Vaughn was like Brandon in any sense, except for like the inner calmness, the jealousy. My boy was down bad, ready to like murder somebody for touching his shoulder. He was like, don't fucking touch my man. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that I love this, and even though it wasn't a part of the plan to go off my physical TBR to my Kindle, I'm very happy that we did. Very happy indeed. Yeah, I'm gonna be retiring my Kindle for a little bit though. It is low on battery and I will not be charging it because we will be going back to focusing on my physical TBR for a long time now. So I won't charge this until I actually need it. Speaking of which, tomorrow, maybe the night before bed, but I don't think we're gonna do it until tomorrow, we will be starting Page Boy by Elliot Page, which I am so excited about. It is a really big switch up from what we just read and from The Long Game, which we will be reading afterwards, because it's nonfiction. It's Elliot Page memoir, and I'm very excited. It's a quick, short one, and it's also kind of a smaller paperback. Let's retire my Kindle and get back into the physical TBR. has been a few days, and as you can tell from the clips, it has been actually yesterday was kind of a sunny day, but I wasn't home yesterday because we went to a like family birthday party at the zoo, which I got a few clips from there, not a lot. So I spent most of the day there. So yesterday was kind of sunny and nice, but the day before that and today is kind of gloomy and rainy, which, sue me, I love. I love a good rainy, cloudy day. I will actually take it over a sunny day most of the time. I like having sunny days in between, so like, I made a hot coffee I've had hot coffees before, but I've actually never made hot coffee at home by myself. I just recently got like a milk frother, foamer, whatever you want to call it, and finally I was able to make hot stuff, but I only made like hot matchas back then because I realized I really love hot matchas. So I made a hot coffee today with the last bit of my salted caramel syrup, and I really like this. It's also just so cozy, so it fits the vibes. And then I made breakfast, which is a mountain of strawberries and 2 buns with raspberry jam. And a few days ago, we finished this little guy. I'm so happy with it. I do need to decide if I want to make the like accessories. He's supposed to be holding a pumpkin trick-or-treat bowl in one hand and a broom in the other. And I do have enough to make that, so I might make it eventually. I ended up spending an entire day finishing up this guy because it's always like that when I start a crochet project like this that I know I can finish in a day, then I need to finish it in a day. So we finished him, and now he's over here with my little pumpkin man that I made in my previous video, the Summerween reading video. And last night I finally got like fully into this because I hadn't had time to like fully sit down and read more than 10 pages. But yesterday I officially got 100 pages into this. I'm on page 101, chapter 12, which is like 30 something percent through it, and means we have about 160 pages left. And I am really, really loving this. I will say there are a couple of trigger warnings that I was not prepared for, but my own fault because I didn't look it up. And obviously, like a lot of people who write memoirs have some triggering stuff in their past to talk about. So trigger warning for self-harm, eating disorders, body dysmorphia, obviously, all of that sort of stuff. But I just think Elliot writes very beautifully. Also, I was shocked yesterday to find out that Elliot Page is almost 40. I'm not saying that 40 is like old, I'm just saying I did not think Elliot Page was that much older than like me. And I'm 21, so he is in fact a lot older than me, but I'm really enjoying the writing of this book. I feel like if this was another book than a memoir or nonfiction, I would tell myself that I could totally finish 160 pages today, but I'm not saying that at all. If I could get to page 150, maybe that's 50 pages today, then I would be happy. If I could get to page 200, I would be super happy. So it's kind of just see where we go. I don't have any plans for while it's still gloomy outside. So my plan right now is to watch some stuff on my computer while I eat and drink my coffee. And then I want to get into this book and keep reading until I have to leave, which I have to leave for the movies at like 4 p.m. So I need to meet a friend at the movies at 4:30. We're going to be watching Scary Movie 6. Or I guess it's just called Scary Movie, but it's the 6th one. And I'm excited. Those are my plans for today, and I think we should honestly just get into it. Alright, it has been a few days and I have a few updates, and I will warn you guys, I am in like a weird mood, and I was too yesterday, which is why I didn't film yesterday. That and because my hair looked like shit, and I've been pushing it today too for me to take a shower, and I almost didn't take a shower and was like, I'll just film with greasy hair and stuff like that, but I just knew a shower would make me feel better. Not sure if it has, but here we are. I just wanted to let you guys know that because I feel like sometimes you can tell on a person, and I would rather be transparent than like talk and you guys be like, what on earth is wrong with this girl? And I don't know what's wrong. Like, I genuinely couldn't tell you why or explain exactly how I'm feeling, just that I'm feeling weird. So yesterday morning I finished Page Boy by Elliot Page, and as it is a nonfiction, specifically a memoir, I will not be rating it, but let's just say that I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think his writing actually made this book for me. I mean, it's also, he's had a very interesting life to read about, sad, look up trigger warnings, all of that sort of stuff, but like interesting to read about. But I do still think his writing made it even more interesting to read about. I just really enjoyed this book. Like I just said, search up trigger warnings because I actually had like a surprisingly triggering scene in this, and I don't feel like I get triggered that easily, but I just feel like it was so raw and honest and real about like every single aspect of his life growing up, and I really like this one. I mean, I love a good memoir, and this was definitely a good memoir. I feel like there are different types of memoirs. There are memoirs where people have like an interesting life and stuff like that, where you're a little bit like, you're very obviously not a writer. And I just think this had exceptionally great writing. Like Jeanette McCurdy's book. I also read her book and was like, she could be a writer. And now she is, because she put out like she put out a fiction book. I still haven't read that one because I'm not sure if it's gonna be for me, but I loved her writing in I'm Glad My Mom Died, and this is reminding me of that experience with the like, holy shit, this person actually knows how to write a great book and didn't just have an interesting life. But that does also mean that we started our last book of this video, The Long Game, and I started it yesterday afternoon, and then I read a little bit more this morning, and I am now exactly 25% into this, which is 107 pages. And we are, in fact, annotating it, in case you can't tell. Very excited. I am low-key not in the mood to annotate right now, but like I know I will regret it if I read this and don't annotate it, so I'll be doing it anyway. The minute I'm done with this, I don't have any other books on my physical TBR that I'm right now thinking I'm gonna annotate, so it's like, it's okay. I'm not a big annotator, but I like having books that I know I love, which is mostly rereads. I mostly annotate rereads because by then I've already read them and like I know I love them, but I also kind of know I'm gonna love this. I have already low-key teared up multiple times, and I know this is gonna be sad. I know some spoiler stuff, not in depth, but I know some of the stuff they're gonna go through in this book separately. And like, I know that is just gonna be so freaking heartbreaking. Right now, I will say, I also heard a lot of people who talked about this, talking about the fact that like you get a little bit annoyed at Shane in the start, and I get him, but I also get the being annoyed at him for some of this stuff, but like not in a point where I could like, where I don't still love him immensely. So 100 pages into this, I'm really enjoying it. I am annotating a lot. I feel like I'm underlining on almost every single page. I'm still getting used to the annotating and like, where do I want to put a tab, where do I just want to underline, what do I want to write in the margins, all of that sort of stuff. I just write like fun little things in the margins. So I will be continuing reading that. Let's get on with our day. I want to try and get halfway into The Long Game at some point today. It is the next day. Yeah, I think my last update was yesterday, which was that I was 25% into the long game, and now here I am to tell you guys that I am done with the long game. I finished the last 70 something pages this morning, and then I just wanted to wait until my mom wasn't here, because when I know she's not going to be home, I like to just wait with filming until then. Before we get into the review, I need to let you guys know my mood lately it has been like this. I think I talked about it in my update yesterday too, that I'd been feeling weird, and then I ordered food and I did not regret it. First of all, I got an extra chili cheese top, even though I only ordered 6, I got 7. So I didn't regret it at all, and it actually really helped. But then I don't even remember if it started happening before then. In case you can't tell by whatever I'm doing right now, my neck is killing me and I have no idea what I did, and it's not going away. I've had the heating pad on it all day. I've put numbing cream on it earlier today. I stretched it all day yesterday. I was literally sitting like this, and like it hurts and it's making my head hurt, and I took fucking painkillers this morning, double the amount of what I would normally do of this specific painkiller, which is like specifically for headaches, and it still like hurts in my body. I don't know what on earth is going on. I feel in a bad mood. I feel weak. I feel like I could cry. That was just a long-winded way to like explain to you guys, because I feel like I'm gonna try to like keep up the energy and stuff like that. I also have to film an intro for another video right after this, so like we can't be doing this. So I finished the last 70 pages of the long game this morning, and I just don't think I can give this book anything less than a 5-star. Do I genuinely think the book is a 5-star? Maybe. Can I admit that I would probably rate it lower if I did not love the show as much as I do? Yeah, I can admit that, because you know what? I don't think I would be as connected to these characters as I am if I had not watched and loved the show before I read the books. And that is my honest truth. And I feel like you need to be honest about stuff like that, because like I can't help that it's affecting it, so I might as well just be honest about it, you know? But like still, this is an amazing book, and I think it is a kind of a huge step up from Heated Rivalry, if we're being honest. I just think there were so many beautifully written lines in this one, and don't get me wrong, Heated Rivalry is a great book. I do not think that is a bad book at any mean, like in any way. I really, really enjoyed that book. I just think this one is such a step up in the writing, you know? Also, I feel like there was just a little bit more depth to this one than the first one. Like we really got deep into it with these characters, and I love Shin and Ilya. I feel absolutely terrible for both of them at multiple points in this book. I had my moments of being angry at Shane, but in like I get why you're doing what you're doing, but like stop it sort of way. And I think this is a beautiful book. I just want to make that clear, that I'm not comparing it to the show and like trying to bring this book down. I'm just saying I think the show has had such a big effect on me and on the way I've been like experiencing this series, which has been these 2 books. And I mean, I flew through this. Honestly, I did. I mean, I read what, like 75% of this yesterday or something, right around that, maybe even more than that, and I loved it. I mean, I didn't cry as much as I thought I was going to. I had a lot of moments of like genuinely tearing up and like fighting back tears, and I think maybe if I hadn't fought them back, I would have cried a lot in this. So I want to hug both of them, and I'm very excited about the next one, which I forget what it's called, but I know she's writing a new one, and I'm very excited about that. I am so excited to see Hudson and Connor bring this to life in season 2. So I do think Rachel Reed did an amazing job with these, and this one, because it did talk about some of the other couples, it did make me want to kind of read some of the other books. I just heard so many mixed things about them, and I feel like The only one I've actually heard amazing things about is this one. Book-wise, I know some people also really loved Heated Rivalry. And I'm not, again, I've never said that Heated Rivalry is a bad book. I don't think I would have given it above 4 stars if I hadn't watched the show beforehand. And that is just my honest truth, you know? But this one I would have 100% given above 4 stars. I wouldn't have given it 5 stars if I hadn't watched the show, but I would definitely still rate this super fucking highly because it is a great, beautifully written book. I mean, look at these annotations. I didn't do all of that just for fun, you know? Or I did, but I did it because it like deserved it. I think we need to end this video off here because I can feel the fact that I'm yapping and yapping and yapping and it's all over the place and I'm talking about stuff that is not important. So I am in fact here to finish off this video. We spent like a week plus like 1 or 2 days together and we started off June, Pride Month, really well with some freaking amazing LGBTQ books. Like all of these were 4 stars or above, even though I'm not really rating Elliot Page memoir. It is one of the best memoirs I've ever read. So take that how you want to take it. That didn't make any sense. Okay. Thank you so much for entering Pride Month with me. And if you are queer in the LGBTQ space, happy Pride Month. I hope you have a great month. No matter if you're closeted, if you're out, if you're not sure what your label is, whatever you are, and whoever you are out there, I hope you have a great Pride Month filled with love and understanding from the people around you. And if you do not, my socials are always linked down below. Feel free to reach out and I will always do my best to answer the quickest I can. So, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And without further ado, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!